Welcome, 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 beautiful souls. Amanda Wise here. And today I wanted to get into what was coming through for me today when I thought about what I wanted to talk about. I asked what wanted to come through, and I was getting messages around portals and synchronicity and our connection to spirit, our connection to the higher realms, to our angels that we all have. And those messages are coming in really strong that more and more people are waking up, but so many more people are ready within their soul, but they haven't fully awakened to the fact. They don't know that there's divine help. They don't remember that there's divine help. They don't remember their connection with God, with source, with the angelic realms, that it's all right there within themselves. And so this idea of portals came into my consciousness, and the fact that portal, when we hear about a portal, an interdimensional portal, it might be a portal where, you think, like someone mentions an extraterrestrial ship is coming through, or that's been seen on, Skinwalker Ranch or wherever. These are portals, energy portals. But portals exist in so many more realms. They're within us. It's not like a place out there. It's an energy. It's a shift in dimension. And those shifts can happen at really any moment. And they happen at the moment of birth. They happen at the moment of death. But they happen also in different moments of synchronicities. Those are like a portal is opening and you're able to see into other realms. And you can, those signs and synchronicities are everywhere all the time. And your angels want to connect with you all the time. And really because we have free will, you have to voice that. You have to open up into that in your heart. And when you do, and you ask, you receive. When you ask, you shall receive, right? There's so much wisdom in that. And when you have those things that happen sometimes, like a ringing in your ear, that I've gotten that for years. And I always had this idea of what it was when I was young. And what happens is, like, your brain wants to tell you, oh, that's nothing, or that's my imagination, or, it wants to, it's like in constant conflicting with your intuition and your knowing, and in your heart chakra and your solar plexus chakra, which is like the seat of your intuition, and your heart, like working together in sync. But your brain interferes with that a lot of times. And so we just have to be hyper vigilant. Vigilant is we want to be present in the moment, and present to receive messages. So when you're asking for help, you're asking for help, you're going through a tough time, but are you opening up your heart to seeing those things that are there that can help you? Are you fully open when you're praying? Where are you in a moment of fear, or are you in an open space where you can receive? Because that's something that, again, with this free will, you have to be open channel. Because when you do open up, that's when things come in. Like, if you've ever had the amazing experience of falling in love. And when you're falling in love, the world transforms itself before your eyes, right? Things are magically, things just work out. Things are different. You're looking through rose-colored glasses. That's a portal opening up also, where, time can shift and things like that can happen. And so if you can get yourself into a state of love, you can allow those things to come in. And, in those times, the question might be, well, if you're going through a really hard time and you're going through like a tragedy, a suffering, whether it's just like a frustration, a bad mood. And so what you can do in those moments, how to shift out of that is, going in nature is one of the best things that you can do. Taking deep breaths, you can just center yourself, quiet yourself down so that you can open your heart to gratitude and really feel whatever you can feel gratitude about, even if like everything is a disaster right now in your life, if you're looking at it and like everything seems screwed up, how is this ever going to change? I'm stuck right now. You can find something to be grateful for always. Like it's like about getting yourself into a state where you can find awe and beauty in what is around you. So it's about shifting your perspective and shifting your energy. And that really is what it's about. Because if you can shift and find amazement and just awe and absolute love from going out and appreciating this world that we live in, this beautiful world, rather than focusing on, say, that we're screwing it up, our ecosystems collapsing, we're losing species. And, you could go down that route, or you can appreciate the sun is out today. Like today is an absolutely gorgeous day. But even if it was raining outside, like the rain, we have the source of life, of water that we need for living falling from the sky, and the whole fact of how our ecosystem works, and the rivers and the streams and the oceans, and it evaporates back into the atmosphere and rains. I mean, things like that, it's like absolutely amazing. And the fact that our earth has this thin atmosphere around it, so thin, so fine, that when astronauts go out in space and they're so amazed and they wish that every other person could get the chance to go up and experience it, because it's such a powerful experience to see how fragile our planet is, but how beautiful, and how it's protected by this atmosphere that we have. And just to find those, if you can tap into your inner child, and the awe and wonder that children feel when they discover things and they're playing, if you can tap into that, you have shifted. You have opened a portal. You have opened like a valve of goodness, of positivity, of light, of connection with source. You've opened that portal. So that's available to you any time, any moment, any time. And, going through, we have emotions and we're constantly in flux, like we are not our emotions. They are an aspect. It's like the weather coming through, and you have to remember that. And when you're in that moment of like despair or sadness or depression, and knowing that is not you, that is a wave, that is a expression coming through our biology in our bodies. That's what that is. It's a chemical reaction coming through and giving us those feelings that we have, those emotions, and being able to ride out your emotion, feel your emotion, and let it pass through, and knowing and staying in your center while that's going on, because it's like a roller coaster. You're never going to just be flat and even. That's just not how it works. And so reminding yourself that staying in your center, riding those out, and keeping your connection open in those moments. And if you can, because it's impossible in our world today to stay present all the time. It's just not how our brains are wired. And it's almost like our brain, it's like, it's like a game. Like, we decide to come down here so we can essentially find our way through all the obstacles, through all the things, all the veils that are put on top of us, both in our biology and in our society, our world, and to dig and excavate and find our true self. And what's interesting is a lot of children, or adults as children, like I know myself, I knew these things when I was a child. I knew them. I remember knowing them. And all children have this. And then as we grow, it's like all these things are put on top of you. And you have to do this process of deconstructing things that have been put on you and in your consciousness, and programming that's been put onto you, so that you can get back to what you know in your heart center, is that we are here. You are a most powerful being, and that you decided to come here, and you are pure love and light. And you just are. I am what I am. I am that I am. And all of this is an experience for your soul and for the whole. And that's what we're here. And so, like, if you can shift, and by shifting, you, like, how do you get there? Like I said, you start with appreciation and gratitude, and letting that love grow inside, and letting that feeling grow, and allowing that to open up. Because the more you do that, the more you do it, the more you'll see those synchronicities. The more you see, and when you ask, like, you can just ask for signs. You can ask for a sign, and I challenge you to do this. And some of you may do this. If you don't, and you're like, what is this? Okay, whatever. Put it out there. Ask your angels. Okay, if you're like, I don't even know if I have angels, I don't even believe in that. You do. You have angels, you have guides, you have a whole series of beings working with you, your soul family, that is here to help you. Because we would never be sent here on our own, just with nothing. And to remember that, and when you see the sign, so anyway, you ask for a sign, and you can just ask for, how I usually just ask, I kind of like just close my eyes, and and something will come in, okay? And it might be like, what is that? And don't think it, don't like overthink it. And then, because there was this one time, and I'll mention it, that I was like, it was like a purple dinosaur came into my mind, and I was like, okay, whatever. Let me think of something else. I'm like, no, okay, I'm just gonna trust whatever, purple dinosaur. And then, of course, later, within the span of 3 days, the different signs, I always write them down, so I remember them later, and I can look back, like open the paper, and there was like an ad with like a purple dinosaur on it. Then it was like, okay, one thing, but then you see like 2 more things over the next 2 days, and then your jaw will drop open. You will be amazed. You will be amazed. And I promise you that if you ask, you will receive, if you're paying attention. It's just something that, it's something that I feel like that I want to share with people, because so many people most people don't do that. Most people don't know that. And that's something, and it might sound, crazy or floofy or whatever, but this is my reality. This is how, and I know it because I've had it happen too many times. There's no coincidence. Like there are things that you just can't make it up. You just can't make it up. And the more you open up to it and the more you allow it in, the more you're going to see it, and it's going to open up for you, and your life opens up to you and unfolds for you. And, so what else can I say that's coming through? You just have to learn to trust ourselves again. To trust ourselves. Because it's not only like, when I say like the world, it could be people in your life, other random people, or even people that like love you, but maybe don't, like sometimes something comes in, or you have an idea, and somebody, if you can very easily, like, don't give your power away. You know it's best for you. You have to trust that what's coming in. And that's one of it's like believing, and they say like seeing is believing is seeing. When you say yes, if you say yes, you're opening that up. You're like opening this flood. I just see it like when you say yes, and you find, if you get an intuition, if you follow it, like, it will never steer you wrong. Like, even if you think like, what does this mean? It doesn't matter. It's like, if you feel it, just follow it. Because whether it's like a small thing and you're like, oh, maybe I should, like, I'm packing for something and like, maybe I should grab this. I don't know. Maybe we could use it. Like, oh, I don't know. Never mind. We probably won't. And you put it away. You're going to need that thing when you're like on a trip or whatever. And you're like, I said that. Why didn't I do it? Why didn't I just get it? Or you're out and you're like, you're walking past and you get like this little whoop, like inside you, like, and you notice somebody's outfit and you were like, you want to say something. You want to say, oh, you look really great today. Or I love that, what you're wearing. Like, and you don't say it, it's like when you say it, you're giving out, first of all, you're throwing like a love bomb on that person, and you don't even know what kind of ripples you're going to cause out in the world. Like, you follow those little things, and then, or it could be something where when you do it, it could be a big thing. It could lead to something else that you're looking for, that you've asked for in a prayer or something. You've asked, and it's like that story about the guy, who's in a boat and he fell out of the boat and he's drowning, and he's hanging on to like a piece of scrap of wood, and he says, God help me. And somebody comes by and says like, oh, hey, I'll take you in and whatever. And he's like, no, I asked God, like, he'll be here. It's all right. And he keeps sending things away, but like, that's what's there. That's what is happening for you. Like, you have to like be open to it. So if you're open to it, it will happen for you. There was another piece. Okay. So when you don't do those things, when you don't listen to your intuition, you're making it so much harder for yourself, because it's a gift. It's your greatest gift. Okay, because you could say love is your greatest gift, but you are love. You are pure love and light. That is literally what you are made of. And so your gift is your intuition, which is your connection to the source. And so when you don't, like, we are given all of these senses, our voice, our hearing, our seeing, but like our voice is our way that we communicate, but we share, we bring things into manifestation. And if you have an intuition and something to share, something to help someone else, or something that you need to bring out, if you don't use your voice, when you stifle those, when you don't listen to your intuition, you don't follow through with things, that energy, because everything is energy, it's like a stopgap. It like reaches, it like goes up, and then it like goes back inside. And so even though it may be like a positive thing, I'm talking about positive things. Like if if you feel like an inclination to like freak out on someone, you kind of want to like, take a moment and use your discernment and see how you want to like let that out. But and even negative things that are perceived negative that need to come out, they need to come out as well. But you have to, see how they're going to come out and how you want to let that out. But any of these things, these energies, they have to make their way out, because when they don't, it creates a dissonance. In your body, an energy pent up that can, over time, especially with things, it creates blocks. That's what creates blocks. When you're like, oh, I've been trying to do this for so long, or why do I always seem to like, I start something and I can't like do it all the way, or I have like, and like, I'm speaking from experience because I'm a human. I've gone through these things. And so when you have this happen, it's like a light. First of all, it's not you. It's something that you're not releasing. You need help. And there's many ways that you can help release these blocks. That's what, doing the work, doing the listening, the asking, the following the intuition, doing, drinking water, eating healthy foods, exercising, doing energy work, doing deep, like, work on yourself where you're looking at things within yourself, helping you release those blocks. Those are all things that you end up having to do to help release these things so that you can be who you really are meant to be in this world. And that's something that at this time, and I feel this, I'm like sitting here sweating so bad, because when I get really hot, when I bring through this information, and like this time, we've been going through a shift. I know you probably have been feeling that for some time now, like for years and years and years, but we are reaching a point where things are shifting, and I'm feeling it on a personal level, and it's reflected in my outside environment, in the external. And so I know that, and I'm getting like feedback on it, because when I I'm following this, like, this podcast that I just started, this is a point of, for me, like, that it is a shift. And once a certain type of shift happens, you can't go backward. You can just feel the sense. You can just feel that. And so there's a quickening. There's a time like things may be feeling really. There'll be times where things will feel very calm, maybe, and you'll feel like a pocket of time has just kind of opened up for you. And then you'll feel other things, maybe symptoms of like feeling like you can't quiet your mind. You have like a lot of these frenetic energies kind of going on. And it's like this flux. It's like lots of back and forth and back and forth.